Welcome to the second video. So today we will extend our previous TPS activity to see how we can make decisions using the switch statement. In our earlier video we had seen how to make decisions using the if-else statement. So in today's video we will see decision making using switch statement. So first let's see what the switch statement is. Switch is used to make a multi-way decision. So what do we mean by a multi-way decision? So sometimes we need to choose from multiple options. It will not be just like choosing from true or false. So in such scenarios we use switch statement which allows us to choose one from several alternatives. So I have seen several such examples. It could be like a menu which shows you several options. You choose one among those options. Then the following is the syntax of the switch. Switch followed by the expression. So this expression is the control expression. The limitation here is that the expression should always evaluate an integer value. After the expression is evaluated, the value of the expression is matched against the case constants. As you can see, there are several case statements here labeled case 1, case 2 and so on. So whenever the value of the expression matches a corresponding case statement, it goes on to execute that statement set, and then we use an optional break to come out of the switch block. Otherwise it goes on to the next case statement and so on. And there is a special case statement called as the default statement, which gets executed when none of these case statements match against the value of the expression. So let's see how the flow of control works in switch statement. So first, after evaluating the expression, we check the value against case 1. If it is true, statement 1 gets executed and then we move to the end of the switch. Otherwise, we check for case 2. If it is true, we execute statement 2 and likewise. So this diagram shows us the flow of control with the switch statement. So to get a better understanding of this switch statement, we will try to solve a problem using this. So the problem statement here is writing a C program for making a fortune prediction based on the roll of a dice. So you have seen several automated programs that display a fortune message. So we are trying to simulate something similar. So the dice, what we are doing is we are simulating it by generating a random number between 1 to 6. Here each value in this range corresponds to one particular fortune message which will be displayed on the screen. So this is our program. So let's see how we approach this problem. So we break it into two parts. One is generation of a random number and then displaying a fortune message based on the number generated. Here is where we make use of the switch statement. So generating random numbers, what we do here is we generate the seed value for the random sequence. We are going to use a PRNG, which is a pseudo random number generator. So for which we need to seed the sequence, for which we use srand. Srand function takes an integer argument and gives a seed value for the random sequence. And each time we want to generate a different random sequence, I want it to take up a different seed value every time. So we give a variable parameter which is nothing but the number of seconds elapsed since 12 am. So which is obtained by time null, and each time we run the program the time instants are different and hence it generates different seed values and hence different random sequences. After we have provided a seed value, then we generate a random number using the rand function over here. But here we don't want random numbers across the range, rather we want to limit them to the range 0 to 5. So we choose a modulo 6 operation and then we shift this range from 0 to 5 to the actual range of the dice, which is 1 to 6. Okay, dice has 6 possibilities from 1 to 6. So what we do is we add 1 to the generated sequence. Now the variable ival contains a random value in the range 1 to 6. Next, we see how we can make a prediction. So I have shown up a code segment here. So the generated random number is now taken as the switch expression, and based on the value in ival, we are going to execute one of the case statements. So you might see here each case statements have a corresponding fortune message being printed onto the screen, and every case statement, at the end of every case statement, we see a break. So after executing the body statement set of a particular case statement, we want the control to go to the end of the switch block, and that's why we have placed a break statement. So we have coded several cases here. Now let's see how we can code this as a program. So open a text editor of your choice. So again, since we are writing a C program, we will include appropriate libraries. stdlib.h for the rand functions that we are going to use. And then time.h, we write a main program. I declare a variable ival which will store the random number. Then we'll seed the sequence srand time null. Next, we'll generate the random value ival is equal to rand modulo 6, which gives us 0 to 5, to which we add 1, and then we are going to write the switch statement, switch ival. So I had coded the case statements earlier, I'll just copy them. So as you can see here, there are several case statements, each having an appropriate message followed by a break. Now let's save this program. Let me call it predict.c. Choose some particular folder. I'm just saving it in the home directory. Now we are going open this terminal, compile program here, gcc predict.c. There are no errors. Now we run our program. When we run our program, it displays a fortune message. If I run the program again, now it gives me a different fortune message, and this we can see. Okay, so across several runs, different random numbers are generated and hence different values. So let's go back to the program. So to recap quickly, we have generated the random number by first seeding the random number sequence using srand, and then the random function which generates a random number. Next we saw how to use the switch. Based on the value generated in ival, the corresponding case statements gets executed, control comes out of the switch block and then terminates. So something that you guys have to try, some questions at the end, is what happens if I comment this particular line, okay, and then what would be the output of the program. Another question could be like, what would be the output of the program if these break statements were to be removed. Okay. So think about this, execute these programs and try to figure out what's the reason for this modified behavior. Okay. So here we will end. Thank you.